people that I want to work with. Not just telling me about restructuring and fixing Nigeria, no. Those Oduduwa people that are pursuing Odua Republic, they are the ones I want to work with. No other group. Professor Akintoye said restructuring is not the solution. Of course not. It is not and can never be. He has spoken. I believe our leaders from the four zones are Femi Fere, Ohaneze, Pandev, and Middle Belt Forum, who have put this forward, believe that it was a way of compelling Buhari, of course a dead man, to at least effect some structural reforms in the system. But it hasn't happened. And he has no hope. That they asked him, you mean that restructuring is no longer a solution to Nigeria's problem? He said yes, because it's too late. We have passed beyond the point of politics. A section of the country is actually trying to conquer the other part of the country. And this is an Odua man saying this. He's the one saying this. Not me, a professor. Akintoye is the one saying this. Not Nnamdi Kanu. No, of course not. I'm only quoting him what he said. Restructuring is the argument of politics. It is not a response to war. The Fulanis have brought war, and you're discussing politics, and they are conquering you. They are cutting up your daughters into pieces. And you cannot see it. Sabo is blind. Sabo can never see it. They cut up your daughters in your villages, and they spread the parts all over the place. Sabo, can you see? No, you can't. Professor Akintoye is telling you that the Fulanis are speaking the language of war. And you, with your stupid restructuring, you are speaking the language of politics. Who do you think will win? I like what he said so much. I love it. I love the words he used. You don't use the language of politics to address a war situation. That is why they are conquering all of you. One after the other. And that is why the zoo, in desperation, are now targeting IPOB family members in Vietnam, because we are all over the world. And it is also a source of envy for people that IPOB, we are the largest mass movement in the world. When we march, the earth shakes, of course. Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't know that? Our people in Vietnam, I received this very correspondence, that our people in Vietnam are in very great danger because people working in the zoo embassy in Hanoi are conniving with the Vietnamese government, bribing them and giving them money. They sell all this illicit oil. They have promised to give oil to Vietnam so they can start the deportation of our people, so they can start the imprisonment of Biafrans in Vietnam. They sent pictures to the Vietnamese immigration and police. And some of our people were invited to immigration office in Ho Chi Minh City and forced to sign an undertaking stating that there will be no more IPOB activities in Vietnam, or that our insignia should not be showed, and we are going to take them to court in Vietnam. We are going to get a top human rights lawyer who will take them to court in Vietnam. It is their country, yes. But Biafra must exist. Is it not the same Vietnam that fought USA? You fought France and USA for your independence, didn't you? Vietnam. That now you want to come and support evil. It cannot happen. We'll take them to court in their own land. And that's what we're going to do. And I have a very, I would want some clarifications, I would say, on what is actually happening in the West. Because we have our coordinator, Tari Nemi, who is the coordinator of the Western region, and I want to bring him to tell the whole world what is happening. The whole world is actually listening. Tari Nemi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening from here, sir.
Good evening to you. Can you tell us precisely what is happening in the Western region and how you intend to fix it?
Okay. In the Western region, we've been having some challenges, though we've also measured some level of success so far.
What are those challenges you're having? Hold on. What are those challenges you're having?
Okay, the challenges we are having, it seems to be like some people have decided to have a parallel government in the West here as a result of the previous leader. And these people are just working on their own differently and going against every instruction that comes from the leadership.
Hold on for a second. Let me go back to our opening this very evening about black people and lack of discipline. If your administration is over, or for some reason your services are no longer required, you go away quietly. You may be recalled the next day. Some of you are so daft and so foolish. Do you know how many times our Biafran national coordinator was suspended from IPOB, but he's a national coordinator today? Do you know how many times Amarachi Giftibe was suspended? Look at her position today. What is wrong with you people? If your tenure is over, it is over. You hand over everything. I don't want you people to compel me to use force on you as stupid black people who cannot reason. Once your tenure is over, you hand over. And that's the end of it. Tomorrow you may be recalled to come and serve. Biafra is not going to be like the zoo or any other useless African country where somebody serves and at the end of their tenure, to go will be a problem. There will be no parallel government in Lagos. And as we are speaking today, you come back next week Sunday. If it persists, I will expel them from IPOB. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir.
Is that it? Do you have anything else to tell us about what is happening in the West?
Apart from Lagos State, the Edo State coordinator has just cut himself off from the leadership of the West. He told me emphatically that he's not ready to work with me, the Edo State coordinator. That he's not ready to work with me. He doesn't want to open his state to the leadership. He said that except I work with him alone, that I cannot have access to know his team that he's working with. So he has just cut himself off, and for close to a month now he has not been attending our meetings.
Edo State coordinator is an old boy, is one of us from the beginning. And I saw him as a hardcore. I will instruct the relevant line managers to be able to look into this very matter. And I would suggest you refer it to the Conflict Resolution Committee so they can hear both sides of the story. You have said what's happened. Then when he goes to the Conflict Resolution Committee there, he will tell us exactly why he adopted the position that he adopted. But I must make it very, very clear that people must be loyal and obedient to their superior, because IPOB is a mass movement under strict command and control rules. You must obey your superior, and they understand that, and that is what is going to happen. And as I said, you will refer this very matter to the Conflict Resolution Committee, and there they will look into it and come to a resolution within the next 7 days. Thank you very much for being with us, and continue the very wonderful work that you're doing. That is Tarinemi. And as I said earlier, it was my intention to try and open the lines for a little bit to see if our people may have one or two contributions to make. If you have anything to say, you can say that now, or you can call our lines now as usual. And the time now is approximately 12 minutes past 9 p.m. in the land of Biafra. If you have anything to say, or should I say any contribution to make, you are at liberty to do so. But I must also announce this very evening, very, very critically please, I must announce that our people in Canada, I must say what they have done. The caller on the line, stay where you are, the caller on the line. I must announce this very evening what our people in Canada are doing. They are doing very well, fantastically well. But as I have said, Madam Neneyanya must have access to every IPOB account everywhere in the whole world, so we know what is happening. We don't want what happened to us in the USA before to happen to us again. We are criminals, took over our proceeds and decided to go and work for the zoo instead. We are not going to make that mistake. So Madam Nenanya must have access. Our sister Nenanya must have access to every account. But I want to recognize this very evening the Igbo Diaspora Development Agency in Canada. I repeat, Igbo Diaspora Development Agency for their contribution of $12,000 to the coffers of IPOB to support what we are doing. We commend them extensively, and some people also in the USA, they are now waking up. As you can see, I no longer have terrible things to say about the USA because our people are waking up. A lot of them are now coming up to do the needful. So USA and Canada, they are now waking up, and we are encouraging and asking them to do even more. We thank all of you. We thank all of you, please. Very, very important. And I have also a very special announcement to make. This is an instruction. It is a direct order. It is an order. It is an instruction that from tonight, all attacks against our Oduduwa brethren, all attacks against Yoruba people must cease with immediate effect. As I told you, I had a very important meeting earlier today. Very critical meeting. In the next few days, you will hear the details. And in that meeting, we resolved that we are going to work together as a people. And I am asking henceforth, with immediate effect, every attack, verbal or otherwise, against Oduduwa entities or personalities will cease. Despite every provocation, you are not allowed to respond or to retaliate, but where a baseless allegation has been leveled against us, endeavor to respond to it by confining yourself to addressing those issues raised and not attacking the personality. Very, very important. You understand this evening, please. I know that the Janjaweed, the Fulani Caliphate, they will go and create many fake accounts with Yoruba names to try to provoke us, to attack us. Our focus is on Asorok, to make sure we crumble the zoo this year. As I told you before, if we fail to crumble the zoo in this 2020, it is our fault. We must crumble it this year. Our focus is on Asorok and to crumble the zoo. Very, very important, very, very critical. You are not to attack any Yoruba person or their entities. It is an order from me this evening. It should cease henceforth. It should cease henceforth. Please, I had a very high-level critical meeting with Yoruba stakeholders. Sorry, Oduduwa, I don't want to use the word Yoruba. With Odua stakeholders. And they are pursuing what we are pursuing. And we cannot be seen to be antagonistic towards one another, because the Fulanis are the ones laughing and rubbing their hands with glee. We cannot give them that opportunity anymore. As simple as that. I have a caller on the line. That caller, are you still there? And can you, for goodness sake, hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my leader.
Please, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Biafra Efyong. I'm calling from British Columbia, Canada.
From British Columbia, you're Biafra Efyong. Where do you come from in Biafra land, please?
I came from Nsrata in Akwa Ibom, Biafra land.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. We are listening. Go ahead. You have gone silent. Yes, go ahead.
I love you so much, my leader. I've been following you for so long time, 2012 till today. I've been a person that I met you before when I was in Malaysia. You have been a great man, and God have used you to celebrate the whole world. I love you, and there is no person can block this or can stop this movement. My leader, you are the man that God sent. And you told us that this struggle is whiter than snow. And I believe that I have been working with my own capacity to make sure this Biafra restoration come to reality. I was the one who started the IPOB in Philippines.
Wow.
I started the IPOB in Philippines before I now hand over, before I moved down to Canada. So the Philippines is working strong.
Yes, it is.
So I have been an assistant coordinator here in British Columbia. But my leader, I follow you because of what you said. I didn't follow you because of, I just follow, know I don't want to go to the detail. But I just want to thank you, and I'm overwhelmed to speak with you. But there is a small thing I want to beg you, please.
Go ahead. Because
in your leadership, sometimes people don't understand. Of course, in all the family, you might have maybe a child or that might not like to follow your instruction. They might be causing confusion.
Yes.
Now, Akwa Ibom State is having a very big problem, which you might not know the details. But I call my family because I even put the radio Biafra satellite in my compound there, and also have some information there. My family has given me information. So the Akwa Ibom has problem with coordinator issues. My family is reporting to me. Very, very bad. And I don't want to put my people in the danger. So please, they said they don't want the coordinator that is working now. It's causing a lot of problems. You don't want to work with anybody. And they even write him a letter asking him to work with every other person. I personally see every other coordinator that has signed that letter. I also signed with my hands. This guy refused to work with anybody. See, today, he doesn't want to work with anybody. My leader, please, I know this Biafra we want is democracy. It is not something that people will say, this person we don't want. And they will force that person to be. I don't know. We don't want something that happened to Imo State. To when they force Uzodimma give Imo people. Now, the Akwa Ibom said they don't want this guy. This person don't want to work with anybody. My leader, I'm begging you, I'm on my knee. I cannot work for Biafra to restore. Then my own Biafra in Akwa Ibom is down. I was expecting Akwa Ibom Biafra to be even more stronger than Abia State or any other part of Akwa Ibom. The second in command was Philip Etiong. He was a man that I love so much. And God rest you. God rest you. People were saying that, hey, you cannot follow Igbo man. Igbo man always cheat, do all those things. But God stand with you. They give you everything, you refuse. And that idiot they call Irwanya, I could remember when he was talking on Radio Biafra, that any day he goes against the rule and the regulation of IPOB, that if they suspended him, he will go to the floor member. But today, Irwanya is causing confusion. Irwanya is causing problem everywhere because he was suspended, because he wanted to hijack the government of IPOB. He will never better for him. He took oath, and that oath will follow him till his generation. I am Biafra if I'm speaking. I know him. If you can play back, if they can play back the radio that he was speaking from 2013 to 2014, you will hear him very clear. How do we know Idwanya? We know that idiot from Radio Biafra. He was nobody. He was nobody. He was nobody.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you one thing about saboteurs. A saboteur doesn't have relevance. If you mention a saboteur's name, you give them relevance. So just ignore every saboteur you may have come across. Our work, we are on schedule. Our work is going on. It is unstoppable. Don't mind it. You have them. I said there was a Hollywood movie. I want everybody to go and watch Tears of the Sun. In that Hollywood movie, the only saboteur there was an Igbo man. So don't be surprised. Okay? We are moving forward. My happiness is that God in heaven, structured IPOB in such a way that it's unbreakable. It doesn't matter who you are. You live, and IPOB continues to work strong. Since IPOB did not fall when I was detained
Yes.
illegally, did not fall when I was in prison, did not fall when they came to kill me. Oh, come on. Nothing can stop IPOB. I thank you very much, my dear brother. I have heard what you've said, and we are going to do the best we can to resolve the issues in Akwa Ibom as one family. Akwa Ibom is very strong. Very, very strong. I have a caller again on the line. That caller, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct. Please go ahead. No. He is. You are listening to your system, and I don't like it. When you call us, you don't listen to your system, please. You don't do that. I have a caller on the other line. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, raise your voice, your name, and where you're calling from, please.
Hello, Mazi. Good morning from here. My name is Okebram Chedos here. From Umuaka. Umuaka is in Olo.
Yes.
In Imo State, Biafra.
Please go ahead.
I'm speaking from India.
From India.
India.
Wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, Mazi. First of all, I want to thank you. Because I keep saying it every time I draw strength from what you say, from your teachings, history, and everything. Sometimes people ask me, why am I so mad about Biafra? Why am I follow this man? Even whatever he says, I deem it to be true. I told him that, listen, as a human being, when you lose these two relevant, you are never complete and can never function. Your history and your land. These are two things you cannot buy with money. Nothing can give you this. And this is what this man has brought back. This is what has triggered the mind of every young Biafran. We are following him because he can give us what nobody can give us. When somebody brings your history back to you, which is what is going to give you relevance, there's no way you can build without your history. You must know where you're coming from. And Mazi, you have tried enough to trace back our history that is older than 5,000 years to us and make us understand where we come from. And that is what we are proud of.
Thank you.
The first democracy in the world.
Of course.
The world was witnessed in Biafra.
Of course. Biafra, the first democracy in the whole world, of course.
Yes, these are things that when you look at it, you become proud of where you come from. An American can die under the flag of the USA. Why? Because they know their history.
Yes.
The reason why nobody can talk about Nigeria, nobody is proud of Nigeria, is because Nigeria doesn't have a history. And there's no way you can maintain a place that doesn't have history.
It doesn't have history. It doesn't have history. You cannot come from Africa and you don't have history. Oh, your history starts from 1914. And Africa is supposed to be one of the oldest places on this very earth. And your history is only from 1914. It doesn't make any sense at all. And that is why they are afraid of us. That is why we are learned. That is why our enemies are afraid. And that is why we are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. I have said it before. Do not respond to Sabo. Don't respond to them. They're irrelevant. Without mentioning IPOB, Biafra NNAMDI KANU, they're irrelevant. In fact, without mentioning NNAMDI KANU and IPOB, they're irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. Don't give them time and space by mentioning the names of idiots who do not matter. Irrelevant people. Please, very, very critical. We understand that. I have this caller again on the line. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Mazi, thank you and I congratulate you so much. My name is Osasu. I'm an IPOB under the banner of Uwasofia. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much for your work. So I cannot just go much deep, but...
and where are you from, please? Where are you from in Biafra land? Where are you from?
I am Edo State.
Which part of Edo?
Edo State,
Igodomi. Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Benin City, precisely.
Thank you. Please
but
go
I reside in Italy.
You are in Italy. So what do you say to people from Benin who may not have embraced Biafra entirely? What do you say to them? Igodomi people, that is. What do you say to them?
There are many are ready to embrace it, but they are still very much afraid because they know the history of their monarchy, or let me put it that way if I'm not mistaken. You understand?
I do.
I know there are many embrace it, but they are afraid. You understand? But gradually, we are doing the work. We and our sister Sophia. You understand?
Yes, Owa is doing very well. Owa Sophia is doing very, very well. And I want to encourage her to continue her work. Owa Sophia is doing very, very well. Efe is doing very, very well. Tamono is doing very, very well. Our people, those of you, Darlington, all of you who are coming out, Biafra child, all of you are doing very well. And also Simon Epa, all of you who are coming out every day, they're doing very well. Please go ahead.
Please let me talk a little bit.
Go ahead.
This Edo rep, man, what's his name? I forgot his name. Please, it is my own opinion I want to give you a little bit. The leader should look into his matter because it looks to be coordinated very good in Edo State. You know, Edo State is so very sensitive. You understand?
Yes.
And he know much of Edo State. So when looking into his matter, you must look to his matter in a way that he understood Edo very well.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, I know. I understand what you're saying.
So that this can work well there. You
of
understand?
Course. Yes.
It's long I've heard of him anyway. I've never talked with him anyway. But just because of our past working hand to hand together, I'm even planning now that each time I go to Edo State, I will see him and we will visit some important place that will even enhance or enrich the movement of IPOB. Okay. You understand?
Very well.
But I will be saying that I still want to encourage you a little more that you should not distract and no matter the circumstances, we are behind you. No matter the obstacles, no matter the deceit, or no matter the frustration the enemy would like to cause, we are solidly behind you.
Of course, I know that. How many are there? How many are there? And thank you very much. I've heard what you've said and also your counsel. I have a caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mazi. My name is Chukwu Emmanuel Ike Chukwu. I'm calling from South Africa, the coordinator of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, KZN.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to the program. Please go ahead.
Mazi, you made me a happy man on the singular tweet you made last week. You say that you are going to marshal out plans to stop the Janjaweed access to the oil money.
Of course.
Please, that thing you said have made me a happy man. Since I joined IPOB, I've been following you and I've been doing whatever you ask us to do. But that your singular tweet have made me to submit my soul into the IPOB. I've been submitting my body. I'm pleading you in the name of Chukwu Kikabiama to facilitate your plan.
I will. And you will see what will happen this year. You will hear it.
Thank you.
You will see it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear. And the whole world will understand how serious we are. They will know how formidable we are. Very soon, of course. They'll be on the run very, very soon. I have a caller on the line. This caller, give us your name and where you're calling from, if you may.
Hello, my name is Mr. Robert Unebu. I'm from MPC and I'm calling from Tyler, Texas.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to commend you for the great job you are doing. You have really proven to us, the Igbos, that we have a leader. And they've also made us to understand that going through right now will ultimately come to an end. You know, I commend your strategy. Forget about all those people, you know, who appears to be gullible. That's why I refer to them, or who are kind of parochial. Because going by what I think Lord Lugard, the book he wrote, the Dual Mandate in Tropical Africa, he referred to us as people who live by the moment and who don't have any apprehension for the future. But I'm glad that today, with you, you have proven to the whole world that we are far-sighted people. You know, we know where we're heading to. You know,
of course.
I was born during the Civil War, so I understand what it means. So when people who were not part of that tragedy talks, you know, I pity them. You know.
Yes.
So don't divulge your strategy to anybody. You don't own anybody anything. Keep on planning what you're planning. We're strongly behind you.
Of course, I know that.
You know,
I have no doubt.
We are strongly behind you. So the sabotage, as you said, is just their existence is just temporary. You know, if you give them attention, you give them relevance.
That
so
is true.
They don't need it. You know, so keep on focusing. And with respect to what the Fulanis are doing right now, I believe that your strategy of mobilization and sensitization and conscientization of our people should be ongoing. You know, we are helping with respect to that because so many of our people appears not to understand the of the Fulanis. You know,
yes.
So I mean, taking you a little bit back on history, in 1967, I have the clip. Ojukwu, after the Aburi Accord was asked,
yes,
was asked what he feels and the plans of the Fulanis. He said that their agenda never changes.
Never.
The only thing is that they change the strategy.
Never. The agenda is the same for Fulani. Always the same, to conquer, to subdue and to subjugate.
They change their tactics from time to time. You know. Now with the corruption scandal that have emerged themselves into, that trying to find a way to divert attention, thereby focusing right now on what is happening in NDDC. That's a strategy.
Of course.
That's a strategy.
So
we have to keep on mobilizing our people so that we be on guard, we be on alert, you know, to prevent them from castrating, because I'm quoting the word of Ojukwu. He said that what they want is to practically castrate.
And that's what I have done. That is why that was why in Imo State, in your state, because you're from Mbisa, that was why they managed to plant somebody from the 4th position into number 1. That is an absolute castration of Imo State as a whole, not just one individual. I thank you, my dear brother, for calling. I have somebody on the other line, that very person. Are you still there, and can you hear me?
Yes, MAZI NNAMDI KANU. This is, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Moses Arimado. I'm from Ngobala in Imo State. I'm calling you from Ohio, United States of America. And they were one name worker.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Well, for the matter of this forum, this platform, I have few questions for you before I go into my main question or contribution this evening. Please bear with me. You ascertained that Elohim sent you. Am I correct?
Who else could have sent? How could I have survived if not for the grace of the Most High?
Go with me, please.
Yes.
I'm with you all the way.
Yes, of course, of course.
All right.
Yes.
You also,
without
you
hesitation.
Are also in agreement that you are also in agreement that you operate by the directives of El Shaddai. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. And also, good. Now, if you look at the laws and instructions given to Moses in Torah, Elohim made it clear to Moses what the expectations were for the children of Israel.
Yes.
And in terms of, murder, in terms of kidnapping, instead of doing evil, it made it clear. Now, I am appealing to my Biafran brothers and sisters that the kingdom of God is at hand. When Biafra comes, there will be no nonsense. There will be no room to follow the Torah. We are going to follow the law of Elohim. We are going to do things according to the children of God. Therefore, We are not going to have time. Our money is not going to be used to build prisons for criminals. Our money, if we are to build prisons, is going to be for those that committed minor misdemeanor, like traffic offenders or those are not paying child support. But for criminals, for those that looted our treasury, for those that
nobody can loot treasury if you don't even have money to loot. Because our balance is the way somebody do it you are in Ohio. If you go to Times Square in America, you see how much America has in their Federal Reserve, how much they have borrowed, and how much interest they're paying back. That's how it's going to be in Biafra. There'll be no money to steal from anywhere. If anybody steals money in Biafra land, you'll be tried and you'll be hanged in your father's compound. The nearest street to your father, you'll be hanged at that very place. That cannot be any other useless African country. It can never be.
Exactly. That is where I'm getting at. That is why we are going to use their body to feed our fishes in the ocean because there's no room to put them in prison. For what? Why should we condone evil? We cannot keep them. There's no room for them to be prisoned well so that we can entertain them and use our money and feed them. No, we will use their bodies and feed our fishes in the ocean. Now, this is the time. All Biafran people must repent now. The day of God is at hand before Biafra comes, because this is not a joke. We cannot tolerate what is happening in Zoo in the holy land.
It can't happen. Biafra. God is my witness. It can never happen. And my dear brother, I thank you. I thank you very, very much for your call. I thank you very much. Biafra land, we are not going to condone any nonsense. You must be dreaming. If you think you're going with siren, you know there'll be no siren in Biafra land except ambulance, police. Only ambulance, police, and who else will have ambulance? And family. Even the head of state, there'll be no siren for you because you'll be like any other person. There'll be no siren in Biafra land for anybody, commissioner, your governor. Rubbish. You are like any of us. So we take you out of office. If you say you won't go, we'll drag you out of that place. There'll be no armed escort. No siren for anybody except for fire service, for police, and for ambulance. If you don't know, anybody thinking that Biafra is going to be like the zoo, then you're dreaming. You better stay in your the caller on the line. Can you hear me? The world is listening. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello, Mazi, good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
Mazi, my name is Chimezie, calling from Germany.
Go ahead. Chimezie, go ahead.
Yeah. Mazi, I don't know if our people have committed any offense that make many countries treating us bad anyhow.
No. It is what the zoo is. That's what they do best. It is called castration, as our brother quite rightly said from the caller from Texas. It is called, that is what the Fulani does. You don't know Fulani. People don't know these people. We know them very well. That is what they do. They instigate. They go behind the back and they instigate. That's what Fulani does. So that's what they do. That is why tonight they will not be happy. Tonight that I have announced that from now going forward, we are no longer going to attack any Yoruba. No Oduduwa person will be attacked. You see, they won't be happy about it. That's who they are. They instigate. Please go ahead.
Well, I don't have much to say, but only that, many things I need to say, but I don't.
Then try and call me off air, please. When I'm off air, you can call. Maybe that is the best way for us to proceed. I thank you very, very much for calling, my dear brother. I thank you very much. I have another caller on the line. Let me see if I can get hold of them. This caller on the line, can you hear me? If so, give us your name and where you're calling from. For the last time. No, they cannot hear me. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from? No.